This is our maple brine turkey.
Executive Chef Richard Hetzler is an expert on Native American foods.
And we use just the breast part of the turkey.
He's on a team that put together the cafeteria menu at the Museum of the American Indian in Washington, D.C. The team spent several months researching Native American foods going back centuries.
It's like a medium amount of spicy salsa.
Their menu features foods from 5 different regions across the U.S.
Ma'am? Thank you and enjoy.
We stopped by to talk with him about the role Native American foods played in early Thanksgiving celebrations.
I think the biggest thing is it was truly to give thanks. It was, an end of the year, kind of food harvest that people use that they weren't going to be able to eat that well for the rest of the year because you were going into the winter months.
Today on Thanksgiving, family and friends gather for a traditional turkey dinner. But the holiday has its origins in the early 17th century when European settlers shared a meal of thanks with Native Americans after a successful harvest.
We've got just a light Karo syrup.
Although Thanksgiving is not a Native American holiday, Chef Hetzler points out that Native Americans taught the European settlers how to trap, gather, and preserve the food that allowed them to survive in North America. Many historians believe the settlers would not have survived those early years without the help of Native Americans.
I think my take on Thanksgiving is, it was Native Americans that kind of brought a bounty, a feast together for everybody to have. And then they would use the items that they would have had available to them.
Hetzler says a wide array of Native American foods would have been present at the first Thanksgiving.
This is our Three Sister salad. It has everything in it that they would have had. The beans, the corns, the squash, and I would imagine that would have been on the table. The turkey definitely would have been on the table. The cornbread would have definitely been there.
At the Museum of the American Indian, Chef Hetzler has tried to take the bland ingredients in Native American foods and adapt them to the modern palate.
The original cornbread recipes that we could find were very dense. They were there's really no leavening in them. They were very hard. And essentially, it made sense for what Native Americans did. They needed to be able to take food and pack it with them. Golden candy striped beets. We got baby carrots.
Hetzler says one of the most important things settlers learned from Native Americans was how to preserve vegetables and meats so they would last through the winter.
A lot of those vegetables could have been dried out, so they would have cut them and laid them out in the sun, and then they would have reconstituted them in soups and things of that nature. So they were very good at preserving. They also did a lot with salt. They were one of the first people to use salt to actually cure, cook, and preserve food.
And a chicken taco, right?
But the friendship between the settlers and the Native Americans did not last long. Eventually, European settlers drove the Native Americans off their lands, and the settlers lost touch with many Native American foods, except on Thanksgiving. Jeff Swicord, VOA News, Washington.